Hi everyone, I'm Swati Arora. I'm an NLP practitioner and a certified life coach. I'm back again with my fourth video of my motivation series. In my earlier three videos, I have spoken about how can we keep ourselves motivated, how can we keep our family motivated, which means our parents and our spouses, and how can we keep our team motivated, team members. How can we forget our children then? We need to keep them motivated as well, isn't it? So today I'm with you here talking about how we can motivate our children and keep them motivated. Well, let me tell you, motivating children isn't a small job, it's a Herculean task. It's a continuous task, it's not a one time process. So I'm going to share with you some very simple tips on how you can keep your children motivated all the time. And it's especially very important at this time, especially during the COVID situation where we are in a lockdown situation with our children, when they get irritable and naggy sometimes. So these simple tips will let you connect with your children better and be able to motivate them every day. So stay tuned, I'm coming up with some wonderful tips. So, the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to motivating children is communication. Communication is essential in any relationship, isn't it? Whether it is with family, whether it is with spouse, whether it is with children. I think it's very important to communicate with our children in a better way. And when I say communicate, it is not just one way, it is not just talking to them. It's about a two-way communication, which is about talking as well as listening to them and listening from their perspective. Our children, today's age and world children, are much more logical, much more rational thinkers, and much more sensible when it comes to understanding of the situation. So, all we need to do is get down to their level and their intellect and be able to understand them and talk to them in a language which they understand, not in a language which we understand. So, communicating with our children on a daily basis, and I would say gadget free communication, where you can spend good half an hour or 1 hour just talking to them, not about their studies, not about their friends, or not about anything else, but about them. What do they feel? What do they want? What do they aspire in life? It's very important to communicate that. And that's how you'll start to increase the bond with your children. A wonderful way to also increase bond with children and motivate them is to take time out to play with them. Yeah, it is very important. And especially in this lockdown situation, we can possibly do that, right? So, whatever games you can play inside the four walls of your house or even outside, make time out for that. Select a time on a daily basis or maybe once a week where you can play a little game with your child and engage the entire family in that to build that bond, to build that motivation spirit back in your family. So, that is the point on communication with your children. The second point that I want to talk about is decision making power. Well, a lot of times, like as parents, we would want to not have decision making power enabled for our children. We would want to take all those decisions for them. We would want to, be controlling their life. And a lot of parents I see do that a lot of times. Well, what we are doing to them is two things. We are actually shrinking their decision making capability as children, and we are actually also undermining their capability of applying rational thinking into a particular situation and to be able to decide on the feet. As adults, they would need this decision making capability when they grow up. And if we always are making decisions for them, how do we enable that or how do we activate that? We will never be able to do that. And that is why we see a lot of adults struggling to make their decisions in life, just because of this point that throughout their journey of life, throughout their childhood, somewhere their parents were always deciding for them. So I'm not saying too many things, but I'm just saying, what we could do simply is we could allow our children to make simple decisions for themselves. Like, for example, if your teenage child wants to have a particular haircut, you could once in a while allow that. Or if your teenage child or if your growing child wants to maybe sleep till sleep till, be awake till late in the night and get up in the morning and study instead, you could allow him to do that once in a while. What will happen is you will make him empowered, you will build his decision making capabilities, you will also make him valued and appreciated, and that ways he will be motivated. So that's what I say, decision making power you can captivate in your children. The third point that I want to talk about today is challenge. I know, challenge, you must say that, you may say that, how is challenge motivating? Now, this is something which I want to explain to you with a real life example, my life example. Okay. So, when I was a child, I was a really spoiled brat. I was a spoiled child. I was a spendthrift. I would spend all my pocket money in luxuries, traveling in auto and taxi and movies and a lot of other things. So every second day, my pocket money, which my dad used to give me, would be over and I would be broke and I would be asking for more money from him. So that would really irritate him a lot of times. And one day, what happened was he threw a challenge on me. Out of frustration, out of anger, he threw a challenge on me that, you know what, Swati, all this money that you're spending, I challenge you. You earn 1 rupee and you show me. And the day when you earn that 1 rupee, you will stop using, spending this on unnecessary things. So he challenged me to do that. And he actually did that. And the very next day, you won't believe it, the very next day I was there, open with the newspaper in my hand, checking on the situations vacant column. And I went for 4 interviews where I got selected on all of them. But to cut the story short, I would just say that that is one moment or one instance in my life which has really motivated me. Challenge. That challenge which has really motivated me and which has enabled me to start working so early in my life. And I definitely keep that. And I see that around myself as well. A lot of people get motivated with challenge. So, not with every child, but you can definitely use it for your benefit or use it in enabling your child. If your child is someone who really seeks challenge or someone who's very competitive in nature, someone who's really excited or enticed by challenges in life, you can throw in a challenge once in a while and see how you could get some outstanding and amazing results from the child. So, challenge, use it as a biggest motivating factor. Use it for your children. So, those were my 3 motivational tips for you on how we could motivate our children. While there are many, many more tips that I can share with you, but practice these in the next week while I come back with some more exciting videos on some new topics. Till then, have a good day and be safe. Bye.